We're here at the Traka, and this man beside me, Lachlan Morton, no stranger to long distances. So yesterday's 350, a mere stroll in the park for a man like yourself, having done around Australia. We're with your bike. There's loads of cool stuff about it. Can first tell us what it is?
It's a Cannondale Super X. The fast boy gravel bike.
So this is the latest LAB71. And Cannondale have kind of opened up the tyre clearance, which is something that I would imagine kind of was a request from riders like yourself, because we saw you at Unbound, I think, riding some pretty meaty tyres on the front.
Yeah, it's the same. For me, I run a front derailleur, so it's exactly the same tyre clearance as the last bike. I can fit in the same tyre. So, no extra clearance if you run a front derailleur. If you take that off, you could get a bigger back tyre. The clearance on the front's about the same as the last one, so it's like you can squeeze a 2.1 in there. I often run as bigger tyres as I can get in there.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting group set up for yourself. More of a road group set. What's your kind of thinking with that? It's just what you prefer?
One, it's easier to get the road parts because we get everything through the road team.
Yeah.
So there's more road equipment available. I just like the feel of the levers.
Yep.
So it is like a GRX derailleur and front derailleur. So it's road levers, and then I guess the crankset is also a road crankset. It's a bit of a mix of parts. I got one Ultegra lever, one Durace lever, GRX derailleur and front derailleur, and then we've got Ultegra calipers on here. We've got a bit of everything.
It's just a nice mixed bag.
Yes.
Also up at the front end, you've got what looks to me like the road handlebar setup. Am I correct with that?
Yes. This is the Cannondale road bar. I'm not sure if the gravel bike also comes standard with this,
it may.
But it's like the one piece, which I haven't ever used the one piece on the gravel bike before, but I'd really like the shape of this bar. It's been working out. Means there's a little less room to play with stack and that race to race, but I like it. It's a cool bar.
One thing I'm noticing here is that unlike some of your other bike builds, the tyres here are relatively standard gravel stuff. You weren't tempted to go for a super wide kind of fat mountain bike tyre on the front for yesterday?
I thought about it, but I've just been training on these, and then if you run the big tyre on the front, it does slacken out the geometry and change the way the bike handles a bit. So I just hadn't spent enough time. I've only been on this bike now for probably 6 weeks or so. So I've still was getting used to it and didn't want to play too much with it. I think given the nature of the course, a bigger tyre is probably quicker. But I think I always err towards just what I'm used to or what I've been running and training at that given time. And I've been the mezcals are just a really good all-round tyre. And yesterday, in 360 k's off-road around here, you get a really big mixture from pretty smooth stuff to rocky to the weather changed, so there's mud. So it's just a pretty good bomb-proof all-round setup, which I think when it's longer like that, you're better off just kind of playing it safe a bit.
Yeah. I heard that your day unfortunately ended a little bit early due to an issue with your wheel or something like that.
Yeah.
Tom, your mechanic, was saying that you didn't hit anything necessarily, but is that just gravel racing? Sometimes it can build up with the equipment?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard on bikes, right? If you bounce around on one of these things, 50 k's an hour on gravel roads, it's a lot of force going through every single part of the frame. So yeah, I cracked a rim, unfortunately, about 150 k's in or so. So yeah, just given the fact that it's self-supported and wasn't really rideable, so that was day done for me. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the nature of this sort of racing. I feel like everyone normally has something go wrong, you know.
Speaking of stuff going wrong and you kind of like having to fix it yourself, you've got a number of solutions on your bike dotted kind of all over the place to help you kind of keep going, you know, if you have a puncture or something. Can you take us through like your setup for kind of puncture repair? Because you seem to always have a really kind of interesting solution.
Yeah, I mean, I have definitely have different plugs in different spots. I always have one just here on the top tube. That's like a big dog.
Yeah.
And then, so like if it's a bigger hole, that one's easy to get straight in there. And then another one taped here under the wahoo, which is same thing but smaller. And then I have like, I always run just like the darts in my sleeve, so you kind of have a number of options depending on what the hole looks like. So, and you can just get to it quickly, because a lot of the time if you know you've like cut the tire or there's air coming out, if you know right away and you stop and you can find it and get your thumb on it and plug it, a lot of the time you don't even need to air it up. So it's just like that speed and convenience. The tube, levers and a 6mm I just taped down here. It's kind of out of the way. Generally, if you're having to throw a tube in it, it's going to be a bigger job. So speed a little less of the essence, but still nice to just have it somewhere ready. And it's all you're going to need the levers and that 6mm, just all in one spot. And then the pump, same thing on this side. Generally, if you're going to be using the pump, you're probably using it for a tube. And then just a quick link down here on the brake cable line.
I really love this. This is so neat. And out of the way.
I mean, on my mountain bike, we just run it on the gear cables. But with this all being internal, that's like a really nice little tucked away spot.
That's probably the only bit of cable that you could, or the brake hose that you could put it on.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the best spot for it. So yeah, between that and then, you know, I'll carry the CO2s on me because I like to just have those absolutely ready to go. You can fix most of the quick fixes with that, and then anything beyond that, you sort of you kind of got to work it out from there.
What's your take on gravel suspension? Is it a yes or no for you?
I've never used it, so I can't really comment. You know?
Fair enough.
I think the thing is, it's like everyone wants like a one fix, right? They're like, that's the best gravel bike. But you could race, you know, 4 different courses and there'd be 4 different setups that are better. You know, the amount of terrain that can fall under what is considered gravel is varying. So 100% there's courses where suspension would be great. And effectively, like that's what using big tyres is doing. It's low pressure. You're trying to reduce that up and down motion. You know, I don't think like there's not a huge traction gain from running a bigger tyre necessarily. Especially like the really high speed stuff. Sometimes it's even like you kind of lose out. I feel like if you end up running a bigger tyre, you can get a bit more bite with something smaller. But it's really you're trying to mimic what suspension does. And I guess a bigger volume tyre is like the simplest way to achieve that. But also, yeah, suspension, you're kind of doing the same thing. So it depends, I guess, on the course. Also the way you ride, and then the tyres you want to ride, you know, because I'm sure you could probably get away with less tyre if you're running suspension.
Yeah. That was a fantastically detailed answer. That was brilliant. Well, that is a fantastic bike as well, and I've really loved having a real proper close-up look at this. Lachlan, thank you very much for talking to us. Sorry it didn't all end well for you yesterday, but on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's always something else to do.
Remember, guys, if you like this video, if you like this bike, remember to like the video. And if they want to see more, Lachlan, should they subscribe?
Yeah, subscribe,
Definitely.
like, comment, do everything, all right?
Yeah.
You got to support the videos that are giving you all this good info. Do your part.
Thank you very much.